Hello, my friend. On farms and in wildlands across the globe, a constant battle is being waged. It's a conflict born from the collision of human expansion and the animal kingdom, a struggle against species that have broken through natural barriers, causing devastating losses to agriculture and biodiversity. In a single night, a herd of wild boars can decimate an entire crop field. In the quiet darkness, invasive predators like red foxes and feral cats silently dismantle entire ecosystems. This is the story of that battle, a look into the global effort to manage millions of invasive and overabundant animals to protect our food supply and the delicate balance of nature itself. Among the most destructive invasive species on the planet, the wild boar stands in a class of its own. In the United States, they have become a biological plague. Originating from a hybrid of Eurasian boars introduced for sport hunting and escaped domestic pigs, their population has exploded to an estimated 9 million. These animals are intelligent, highly adaptable, and incredibly prolific, causing over $2.5 billion in agricultural damage annually. The problem is particularly dire in states like Texas and Louisiana. A single herd, known as a sounder, can destroy up to 10 acres of crops overnight. Their destructive behavior goes beyond simply eating the plants. Using their powerful snouts and tusks, they root through the soil in search of grubs and roots, tearing up pastures, destabilizing soil, breaking irrigation lines, and creating hazardous craters. Furthermore, their wallowing behavior contaminates ponds and streams with feces, which can carry diseases like E. coli, pseudorabies, and swine brucellosis, posing a significant health risk to native wildlife, livestock, and even humans. To combat this relentless threat, farmers and authorities have resorted to drastic measures. While trapping can be effective on a small scale, wild boars quickly learn to avoid traps, making it difficult to capture an entire sounder. Consequently, the most effective, albeit dramatic, method of population control is aerial hunting. Helicopter hunting services, particularly in Texas, allow hunters to rapidly cover vast areas and eliminate large numbers of hogs that are otherwise inaccessible. This has not only become a critical management tool, but also a niche sport, with services costing thousands of dollars per hunter. The economic equation is stark. While the processing industry for wild boar meat generates around $50 million annually in Texas, this is a mere fraction of the billions in damages they cause. The sale of their meat is not a solution, but a minor byproduct of a necessary and ongoing war. Australia's unique, isolated evolution has left its native fauna exceptionally vulnerable to invasive predators. The introduction of species from other continents has triggered an ecological crisis, with two animals leading the charge. The red fox, introduced by European settlers in the 1800s for recreational hunting, has had a catastrophic impact. Lacking the co-evolved defenses of mainland animals, Australia's native marsupials, reptiles, and ground-nesting birds became easy prey. Each year, foxes are responsible for killing over 300 million native animals and contribute to agricultural losses exceeding $227 million, primarily by preying on lambs and poultry. Management is a relentless effort. Professional and volunteer hunters, numbering over 15,000, conduct nighttime culls using high-powered spotlights and sniper rifles. These programs, while eliminating over 1 million foxes annually, must be continuous, as the fox's rapid breeding cycle allows its population to rebound quickly. An even more insidious threat is the feral cat. With an estimated 2 to 6 million roaming the continent, these super predators are a silent, efficient killing machine. They are implicated in the extinction of dozens of native species and kill an astonishing 1.7 billion small animals every year. Their impact is so severe that Australia has implemented a national strategy to combat them. This includes large-scale trapping campaigns, the development of specialized poison baits that target cats while minimizing risk to native animals, and the construction of massive, fenced-off exclosures safe havens where threatened native species like the bilby can live and breed without the threat of predation. Not all human-wildlife conflict involves invasive species. Sometimes, the issue arises when a native species makes a successful comeback in a landscape increasingly dominated by humans. This is the story of the American alligator in Florida. Hunted to the brink of extinction, the alligator was protected under the Endangered Species Act and made a spectacular recovery. It is a true conservation success story. The problem is that while the alligator population recovered, Florida's human population also exploded. People built homes, golf courses, and communities directly in the alligator's natural swamp and wetland habitat. This has led to an inevitable increase in encounters. While alligators naturally fear humans, some lose that fear, especially if fed, and become a nuisance, a direct threat to public safety. To manage this, the state runs the statewide Nuisance Alligator Program, SNAP. When a complaint about a specific alligator is made, a licensed trapper is dispatched to capture and remove it. Furthermore, Florida manages the healthy alligator population through a highly regulated public hunting season. This is not a cull, but a sustainable harvest, with a limited number of permits issued annually. Hunters must follow strict guidelines in designated areas, often navigating the challenging swamp environment. This system allows the state to control the population, reduce conflict in populated areas, and maintain a balance between a thriving native predator and its human neighbors. From the plains of Texas to the outback of Australia and the swamps of Florida, the battle to manage wildlife is a complex and unending task. It requires a difficult combination of lethal control, scientific research, and public education. These dramatic efforts are not a war against nature itself, but a necessary attempt to restore balance on a planet where the lines between human domains and wild spaces have become irreversibly blurred.